Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it's favorites time again, and this time I am talking about August favorites. So let's get started. So the first thing that I have are two eyeshadows, and these are from NYX. These are their Prismatic shadows. I have the color Golden Peach and Fireball. You can see these here. This is Golden Peach, this is Fireball, and they're super pretty. Look, they're kind of duochrome even, and they are just stunning. I find that they work really well when I use my fingers, especially if I want a lot of pigment. And they're super inexpensive from the drugstore, and I'm just really impressed with these. I loved wearing these for the summer, and I'm gonna even love wearing them for the fall, pairing it with a bold berry lip or something like that. I think these will be stunning, and I've been loving them. I really wanna try some more colors. So if you have any suggestions, definitely let me know below. But they're just super gorgeous, and they look even more amazing on the eyes, and I'm just super impressed. And again, from the drugstore, you can't go wrong there. I just can't believe how many good things are still coming out from the drugstore. It's just super impressive. The next thing that I have is also from the drugstore. I have a few drugstore things in here, so that's really exciting. And this is the L'Oreal Magic De-Crease. So this is an eyeshadow primer. And I got this because I was going to be filming a drugstore makeup tutorial or get ready with me, something like that. And I didn't have a drugstore eye primer. And I was a little bit nervous about this, to be honest, because I have very oily eyelids. I know that's super attractive to hear, but my eyelids are very picky when it comes to eyeshadow primers. I've used the NARS one that people love, and it didn't work on me. It still creased. So I'm very picky when it comes to eyeshadow primers, and I was very pleasantly surprised with this one. What I loved about this was not only did it prevent my eyeshadow from creasing and it kept it in place and it looked good all day, but it also has that skin tone color to it. So it neutralizes all those veins and colors like on my eyelids. So I have oily eyelids, but I also have a lot of veins on my eyelids, and I want to cover that up. And so I love the fact that this is an eyeshadow primer that works, but it also covers up a lot of that. It conceals it. So this is fantastic. And again, from the drugstore, can't go wrong. More from the drugstore. I have two brushes to talk about, and they're from Real Techniques, and you can see that I've been loving them because they are dirty. So the first one I want to talk about is a newer one. This is called their Sculpting brush. And like a lot of people that I've seen on YouTube, I've been loving this, not for sculpting, so not for contouring, although this would be great with a cream contour, but I've been loving this for blending in my under eye concealer because it has that shape where it just gets right there, and it doesn't get so much in that inner corner. I mean, I can do it, but it just buffs it in really easily, and these, are synthetic brushes, so it works really well with creams and liquids, so I've really been enjoying it for that. You don't always have to use a brush for what they are called or what they're supposed to be used for. It's a good thing to always remember. Try them in different ways, and you may find that you like it in a way that you didn't expect. Same thing with this one. This is the buffing brush. So for a very long time, I was using this for foundation, and I did like it, but I found that it just took a little extra work because of just the way that the hairs are, I guess, but it would just take a lot to really blend it in. There would be streaks all over my face, and so I'd really have to work hard to blend it in. So I didn't love this quite as much as my Sigma F80, for example. And then I started using this for my bronzer. Now, I know that's kind of silly, but for me, I have a pretty small forehead, so if I use a big bronzer brush, a big like fluffy kabuki brush, a big powder brush, I get bronzer all the way here, like all over my forehead, and it doesn't blend in very well because I'm trying to keep it over here, but it just gets all over the place. So I've been loving this because it's a good size for my forehead, so it's good for the sides of my cheeks too. I used it to put my bronzer on my face today. But I can really get up here and blend it in without it getting too close to the middle of my face, which is always the case for me. If you have a big forehead, or a normal size forehead, because mine is just super small, then, you don't need to use a small brush like this. But for those of us out there that have small foreheads, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, this was great, and I'm loving this brush now that I found a different use for it. So the last drugstore thing before I have one high-end thing, I want to talk about the Milani Amore Matte liquid lipsticks. Liquid lipsticks are everywhere, but you know, we love them. They're great. And these are really great too. So I picked up the colors Lust and Beloved. And I love Beloved. They're both really, really pretty, but this one is sort of like a darker mauve brownish nude color, and this is more of just a typical pink. So they're both beautiful, but I'm really loving this one. And I definitely want to get a few other colors for the fall because they have some good dark colors too. But they smell amazing. They smell like cake. And they dry pretty quickly, but they're still easy to work with. And they look beautiful. They're super pigmented. And I'm just like, I'm loving them. I'm very, very impressed. They're super, super pigmented. With so many liquid lipsticks coming out right now, it's like you have to be really picky, and you know, it takes a lot to be impressed. The last thing that I have is a blush from Stila. And I used this actually just recently in a Get Ready With Me, so I will link that below as well. But this is a really cool product. This is a liquid blush, and this one I have is the shade Shimmering Lotus, and I thought this was just gorgeous. It just caught my attention. And so it's really cool. It comes in this pot, and it has that right in there, and that is almost like a mesh material there. So it keeps the product in, and then you just grab a little bit with your finger and you just kind of pat it into your skin. And it's pretty light, so you can build it up if you wanted to, but it's pretty natural as well. So I love this because, you know, if I don't want to add a ton of color, it still adds a nice flush of color. And this one is such a beautiful peachy color with a little bit of glitter shimmer in it, but not like chunky glitter. But it's so, so beautiful. I do have two non-favorites this month. So the first one is a liquid liner by Jordana. So this was super, super cheap, so I don't feel terrible about it. And I still will use it, but it's definitely not going to be the one that I pull for. So this is in color black, and it's the Fabuliner. And they have one that's really, really thick, but then they also have this one, which is sort of normal. So it looks like that. And the problem is it's super stiff. It doesn't really, you know, give you much as far as like drawing that line easily. And it also doesn't give you a lot of color towards the tip. So when you're drawing it on, you really have to lay it down, and then you get that thick line. So it's just not very easy to use. It's super stiff. And, you know, it's black. It's not super black either, but I just, you know, if you're really good with liquid liner, then maybe you'd be fine with this. But if you're just okay with liquid liner, you're terrible at liquid liner, I mean, forget it. Don't even waste your money. It's only like $2, but don't waste your money. So the other thing I got was not only cheap, but it was free, which is great because I hated it. So this was the Healthy Sexy Hair Soy Renewal Cream Oil with Argan Oil. Sounds great, right? It comes in this little, I mean, this is a really big sample. They gave me this for free at Ulta one day. And I was like, cool, great. So first of all, I didn't really feel like this did anything. That's number one. I will say I have very thick, pretty coarse, curly hair. So, you know, my hair does need a little bit of something. So maybe this would work on someone who doesn't have such crazy hair like I do. Number two, it smells like sunscreen. Why does a hair product smell like sunscreen? And not like good sunscreen, not like coconut, banana, whatever sunscreen, like real sunscreen. So, ick. I don't really want my hair smelling like that. That doesn't smell good to me. And then the other thing is, it has like a ton of glitter in it. Like I put it in my hands and on my hair, and I'm like, I've got glitter all over my hands. I don't know if that's supposed to make your hair shine or something, but I don't really get it. I don't really see the point of, you know, putting glitter in my hair. It's just not what I'm going for. So yeah, totally hated this. So I'm really glad I did not buy it myself. So thanks Ulta, but no thanks. So the last favorite that I have is my most favorite of the month, and I have to go and get him, so I will be right back. So this is my baby Snoop. He is 11 and a half weeks old. He's a golden doodle puppy, and clearly he is my favorite for the month of August. We got him, my husband and I, the beginning of August, and he is a little pain in our butt, but we love him to death. And I just had to share him because he is clearly my favorite and he's a little troublemaker.